Dave worked across all the tracks on the album. So I'd say you're the biggest collaborator on the project. So how did you? I mean, we've sort of covered it already, but how did you find it? Would you do it again?
I would do it twice over. Yeah, it was. It's definitely like changed the course of my career. This album, for sure. I mean, like, I wasn't sure of whether I could do it when I first started. I was like, I'm gonna say yes to this because it's a sick opportunity. But I was like, when I first got a mix session open, I was like, okay, like, how the fuck do I do this? And then like I learned very quickly to like trust the instincts and kind of try to just ask the right questions and listen to your references and think like, what is he actually going for? And then 2 tunes in, I would open up another mix session, like a new song, and I wouldn't get the anxiety. I was like, I think I know exactly what he's going for. Yeah. And that it was a bit of a process at the beginning, learning what you liked, what you didn't like, and how to get there. But once I got it, it was plain sailing for the most part. It was more, the way I've always phrased it is, it was like I was steering the ship, but you were giving me directions. Well, like, you knew where you want to go. I was just kind of manning the ship and being like, cool, steer the ship this way. Yeah. That's the way I put it.
Absolutely. I think that's why I would recommend anyone work with you, is because you do you want to bring out the vision that the artist has. I think I've been in environments where you're not heard, and you're not your opinion as the artist isn't necessarily valued. And so it's just very lovely to work with someone who is the opposite of that. You want to bring out you want what the artist wants. And that's just amazing. And like you said, like, I think the first few projects that we did, you weren't sure what I wanted, but by the time you got to know me and like what I'm after, a lot of it came natural to you. So that was really cool.
Well, I think that's the whole point, is that it's never, because I don't have a huge artist presence as myself. I don't really have a vested interest of, this has my name on it, it needs to sound like a Dave Bryce thing. It's purely like, the goal is always, how do I get what you want, and how do I bring your vision to life without any bias from how I want it to sound. It's not why I'm there. It's all about what you want. And take note, producers. That's what we gotta do.
But it was great stuff. The whole process. But thank you. Obviously, Dave is I would say is the biggest collaborator. But then shout out to everyone involved. We've got Sergio Selva on the keys. We got Hussein on bass. We had James Gillingham on the drums. Scarlett Faye, incredible singer. She features on Kaleidoscope. We've been doing some writing together, wrote a couple of tunes together before that song came about, and working with her is always an absolute breeze. Just such an intuitive, melodic ear and a beautiful voice, and such a lovely person, so easy to work with. Max Bridges and Ben Mason, back home from Suffolk, 2 good mates of mine. Max did baritone sax and Ben did alto and tenor sax. Am I missing anyone else? Any band people? I think that's it. And yourself, obviously, you played some piano too as well as mix. But Ish.
Well, I think like a lot of what people have told me about the albums, they always talk about how good the bass lines are. And he's in every single tune, and I think his playing is so well matched to your style. He's another one where he just gets what you want. From like me, from a producer standpoint, understanding what you want, Ish, his tone and his feel just matches your tunes so perfectly. And like, I'm realizing I'm actually asking a question right now, but what was the process of like the bass recording? Did you have a plan for it? 'Cause I wasn't there for the sessions, I just had the files and I was like, sick, these sound great. But I mean, was it all kind of on the spot, or did you have a plan going in for it? Or
I mean, a lot of the bass lines were, not to take away from Ish, but some of the bass lines were like pre-written.
Yeah.
Or like some elements of them were pre-written already. So Ish would just accentuate those bits.
Yeah.
And then basically what we would do would, I'd just go, right, at this point, just go off on one, do what you want.
Yeah.
And we'll do a few takes of that.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of just getting more than you need. And then I'd go off and I'd pick my favourite parts of what he'd done.
Yeah.
But like everything he does, like you say, it's just so good. And we've been, because he plays in the band, you play in the band, you know what it's like. Like he's got such a natural feel. His feel is incredible for bass and for melody. He's got such a melodic way of playing as well.
Shout out.
Yeah, and I think he just understands intrinsically, whatever the word is, what I want. So it's just so easy to work with him, and he's so hard on himself, bless him. Like the amount of times, like, no, I haven't played it well, and he would just like keep running it. I'd be like, that was an amazing take.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, no, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, just an absolute angel to work with.
Yeah. Funny fact, I got a text from Alfie Neil saying, "Tell whoever played bass on Sitting on the Dark to leave some funk for the rest of us."
That run that you're talking about, that bass run. So there's a bridge section of Sitting in the Dark, where Ish does that crazy run, and I can't even remember what it was. I think I specifically said to him, like, because the rest of the tune I was pretty specific on what I wanted rhythmic wise, so I was very strict with him. But I said, here, go do what you want to do.
Yeah.
So we just did a bunch of takes for that bit, and he did that, and I was like, do that again. And we got like a few takes of that, and I don't know, or just a few different bits of him improvising runs.
Yeah.
I was like, man, it just still sounds so. There's just so much like chaos happening at that point, and it's just so cool when he does that bit, you know.
Fun fact about the bridge of Sitting in the Dark: it's technically a completely different mix in the project for that point of the song, because it sounds so different.
Yeah.
The drums are completely different. Everything is like, there is like a huge sonic change.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure in the bridge, everything is actually on a different track.
Yeah.
Because
drum-wise, you mean?
Drum-wise and everything else, bass-wise as well.
Oh.
And there's like a lot of new stuff that comes in, and you can hear it. There's like I think the whole point of that tune was it to sound like it was a dream, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was kind of meant to be like going back, reminiscing or something, or
Yeah.
being in a dream state, and then.
And when you told me that, the mixing process, I was like, I want this to sound like that part in a movie where you see someone go into a dream sequence and everything goes very surreal.
Yeah.
I want that to like completely reflect that bit. And yeah, it was a very important part to get the bass in that section heard, which is why it sounds a lot like more driven and up front in the mix than compared to the rest of the tune. So
Damn.